In the quiet late night, only the gentle moonlight shines down, casting a shimmering layer of light on the water. A scarred hand clenches tightly, the gruesome green veins bulging with each grip. A muscular man sits thoughtfully, seemingly pondering something. This person is none other than Volam Minchu Quin Huang Chu Chong Hok. Suddenly, a gentle female voice from outside breaks his train of thought. Minchu, I've brought tea for Chu Chong Hok. He looks up and says, All right, come in. Entering is a graceful woman with a charming beauty spot below her mouth. She carefully bows her head, holding the tea. Chu Chong Hok glances at the woman and gently says, I've prepared Taisun Baklo tea. He clasps his hands in front of his chest and sighs. This is the homeland tea for me. The woman pours the tea while saying, Yes, this is the famous tea. Chu Chong Hok brings the cup close to his mouth, slightly opening his lips to prepare to drink. Suddenly, a hurried voice is heard from outside. Ji-Cat Hao, a dignified young man, enters, clasping his hands. I apologize for disturbing you while you're resting, Master Min. After speaking, he reports, Actually, there is urgent news from the Sichuan route, so I thought it best to inform you immediately. Chu Chong Hok calmly responds, It's all right. If the strategist is in a hurry to come, it must be important. Please proceed. Ji-Cat Hao steps closer and reaches into his sleeve to retrieve something. He places a rolled paper on the table and speaks, Huyet Thu La Shat Chak Van Duong. Upon hearing the shocking news that the Jia family has obtained his secret copy along with the Huit Thu Duk manual, Chu Chong Hok cannot contain himself. He slams his hand on the table. Too angry what? Due to his strong grip, his hand trembles. He tightly clenches his other hand and grits his teeth, demanding, How and where did you obtain that formidable Huit Thu Duk manual? Ji-Cat Hao bows his head and replies, Previously, Trak Van Dung was hit by the palm of Van Duk Thun Quan, causing him to become blind. He drifted to Hainam and has been hiding there ever since. As if remembering something, he seems interested and adds, Furthermore, there's a very interesting story. According to intelligence, the gang leader Trak Van Dung was defeated by a young swordsman along with a poison user. Chu Chong Hok is astonished and asks, What do you mean, a young swordsman and a poison user? He sits down opposite Chu Chong Hok, then fans himself and continues, Listening to it, it seems like a very interesting story. It's also a story that you will find intriguing. The woman remains standing in the room, hearing Ji-Cat Hao excitedly say, If I elaborate. At this moment, the head of the Jia family, Dung Jiatu Swin, along with all main and secondary branches, are present. After hearing the report, an elderly leader nods and responds, Yes, Master Jia. Another elderly leader angrily says, So there are people who dare to sell our martial arts sex information to others? The elder next to me continues, How audacious. Xiaolong notices that everyone's attitude is different from before, so he turns to Huang'an and whispers, I'm surprised you're not harsh with the musicians or something. She hears him and laughs. Of course, Xiaolong. Fear you don't understand well enough. Let me explain further. They dare to harm the family's reputation, so even the elders in our clan are furious. After all, they are family members. The master gently closes his eyes, bows his head, and makes a decision. I have asked Bai Sak to verify the information about them. We should have news soon. I plan to personally go to Vin. The elderly leader worries and asks, So how do you intend to handle it? The master replies after careful calculation. First, we need to use Dit Hon Dok, Hua Huit Dok, and Duan Chang Dok. Listening to you briefly, the blood will burn, the internal organs will melt, and the person will be engulfed in pain as if their soul is leaving their body. I will finish. Xiaolong opens his mouth and says, The Kuk Tai method? The master turns around and orders Nguyen Jiang to summon the extermination team immediately. I will set out at once. He bows respectfully. Yes, Master Jia. The extermination team is quickly assembled. At this moment, everyone is forming Team 5, standing in the courtyard opposite the master. Before leaving, he doesn't forget to instruct Xiaolong, his son-in-law, I will be departing. You should rest and take good care of your health. Xiaolong clasps his hands and bows his head. Understood, Master. The musicians reply confidently, Be careful. He hears this and confidently says, Careful? Why should I be careful? It's them who need to watch out. After speaking, he and Team 5 swiftly depart. The hearty voices still echo loudly, Let's go! We will punish them 100-fold in retaliation and retribution. Everyone responds in unison, Yes, Master Gia. Remembering the people dressed in black who are carefully concealed, he curiously asks Xiao Thu Huang'an, Are those the extermination team? Why are they here? But this is the first time I've seen them. She immediately replies, Ah, they are specialized in handling. Huangan smiles and adds, mainly dealing with eliminating others. That's why they're called the extermination team. Hearing this, he breaks out in a cold sweat, thinking, it's not just simple dangerous task. Suddenly, someone approaches from behind and speaks in a hoarse voice. Both turn their heads to see who it is. He clasps his hands and bows to Xiaolong. May I introduce the leaders of the Radung sect? The elderly leader steps forward and says hoarsely, Yes, I heard you've had a fateful encounter. He doesn't show any arrogance and responds humbly, Yes, respected leaders. In his mind, he can't help but wildly speculate. Could it be thanks to Kim Maofengvung Loong Chua? The elderly leader, covering his mouth, hoarsely continues, We've come to you because we have something we need your assistance with. Xiaolong is still confused and asks again, What is that? He continues, Is it the secret of Kim Maofengvung? Xiaolong says, Let me finish my sentence. The elderly leader quickly interrupts, Ah, no, not that. Could it be you think we're greedy for that? Yes, that's right. All elixirs and treasures in this world have predetermined owners, don't they? Seeing that the two are talking endlessly without getting to the main topic, he hesitantly asks, So what is the matter? The two elderly leaders look awkwardly at each other, not knowing how to proceed. The leading elderly leader he slightly blushes and whispers, Isn't this about the Kukdam Hoang? He whispers closer. I heard that it was created by the son-in-law, so the authority belongs to you. At this moment, he seems to understand. He grins and laughs a long laugh. Then, he takes out 3 Kukdam Hoang pills, playfully showing them in his hand. He laughs and says, Haha, I'm also trying to adapt to the Radung sect. There are many difficulties, but if the leaders can support a bit, nothing is impossible. The elderly leaders also relax and laugh loudly. Ah, yes, our son-in-law really knows what he's doing. From now on, we will fully support you. Rest assured and live peacefully within the clan. The master just opened the door and saw a joyful scene, like during the Lunar New Year. He speaks. What are you all discussing that's so cheerful? The sudden sound makes everyone stop for about 5 seconds. The elderly leader was just about to receive the medicine, but chokes on a sip, coughing loudly. Everyone quickly places their hands on Xiaolong's shoulders. Extinguish the fire? Ah, we were just chatting to strengthen the bond with our son-in-law. He is also confused and says, of course, respected leaders. The master is pleased and laughs. Ha! It seems that in the end, you all recognized Xiaolong's true value. Huang Yan, her forehead covered in sweat, looks at them. The group bursts into laughter. Of course, respected master. Suddenly, a worried voice echoes, Master Jia, there's a serious issue. Hearing this, the master turns and asks, What has happened? The other person promptly reports, The Lord of Dungjatu Suin is on the brink of death. Everyone becomes horrified. The elderly leader can't help but shout, What? Xiaolong urgently asks, Did he follow the instructions correctly? The other person hesitates a bit before responding, Well, he couldn't hide it. The other person honestly replies, After the Lord of Dungjatu Suin saw the effectiveness of the medicine, he added new supplements and used dosages many times. Hearing this, he breaks out in a cold sweat and exclaims inwardly, Oh my God. The master, with a headache, raises his hand to support himself and says, We must go there immediately. Before leaving, he instructs Xiaolong, You are the only man left in the house. Please protect the ladies, understood? Xiaolong obediently replies, Yes, Master Jia. The master quickly performs his martial arts and leaves in a hurry. He watches him hurriedly leave and wonders, what's there to worry about? Night has fallen, and all the main buildings of the Radung sect are brightly lit. Huang'an sits beside Xiaolong and asks, How is your learning of the Tendok Songwin Gong going this time? He is a bit unsure and says, Compared to the beginning, it's not as difficult now. He thinks to himself, if the 5 Dokuingwin Gong felt like a large flow of energy circulating in the body, then the 10 Songwin Gong is like 2 streams of energy working together like a 2-cylinder engine. Huang'an is slightly pleased and announces, Now I should have a certain level of immunity to common toxins. She continues, Furthermore, I can directly emit energy outward or infuse it into objects. He is astonished and asks, Really? After trying to muster determination, he tightly presses his lips and says, Let me try it once. Seeing the figure before him slowly stand up, he holds the dagger with his index and thumb, then focuses his spirit. He murmurs to himself, transferring internal energy from left to right, creating two clockwise rotating energy loops. Gradually, a blue aura appears beneath his feet and swiftly envelops his entire body. Xiaolong slowly opens his eyes, which now have a faint blue hue. He thinks to himself, "When this energy fills my body." As the sound projects out, it echoes in his head. He uses one leg as a pivot and forcefully throws the dagger toward the dagger, carrying the blue energy, slices through the air and a loud boom sounds as the dagger precisely hits the center of the figure's abdomen, causing several limbs to scatter. He joyfully calls to the young lady Huang'an. "I did it successfully." Huang'an also smiles brightly and says, "Xiaolong, fantastic! You have correctly infused energy into the dagger." A group of unfamiliar people dressed in black hide nearby, their eyes wide as they watch the dagger pierce the figure, and they whisper among themselves. One says, "Have we been detected? Do we need to eliminate them?" Another quickly counters, "No, it seems like just a coincidence." The other person, holding a book, lowers his voice even more. "Though it's just a copy, the Huitudok manual has been obtained by us. Our mission is accomplished. We need to leave quickly before any trouble arises and return to our sect." The man can't hide his smug smile and says, "Haha, these fools are so complacent and unaware of the vigilance in the martial school. Thanks to that, I was able to escape easily." Suddenly, a strange scent wafts by, making him suspicious and mutters, He whispers to his comrades, "Is there a sweet fragrance emanating from somewhere?" The group looks around curiously, searching. As they lift their heads, they suddenly notice a bee also staring intently at them. The bee's expression seems troubled, its buzzing also carrying a sense of anger.